Now, from the area's leader in live local news, this is Wyln News, the area's #1 source of live local news and information in Luzerne, Schuylkill, Carbon, and Columbia counties. Wyln News starts now.
Good evening, and thank you for joining us on Wyln News. Here's a recap of our top stories from the week.
A police officer in York County was killed on Saturday after a shooter opened fire at the UPMC Memorial Hospital. During a press conference on Saturday, York County District Attorney Tim Barker gave details regarding the nature of the incident.
From between 10:35 a.m., approximately that time, and 11:13 a.m., an incident occurred here at UPMC Memorial Hospital that involved an individual by the name of Diogenes Archangel Ortiz. His date of birth 11/4/75. This individual entered the hospital, and he entered carrying with him a bag that did include a handgun and zip ties. That becomes important for what he did later on. He went straight to the ICU, and in the ICU, this individual went and held hostage members of the UPMC staff.
In total, Barker said Diogenes Archangel Ortiz discharged the firearm and struck 3 members of the hospital staff, including a doctor who was grazed, a nurse, and a custodian. Barker said the nurse and custodian are in stable condition at this time. When police arrived at the scene, Barker said they found the suspect holding a member of the UPMC staff at gunpoint with her hands zip-tied. Following failed negotiations, Barker said the police opened fire and shot and killed Archangel Ortiz at the scene. During the course of the armed confrontation, Barker said 3 officers were struck. Barker said 2 of the officers are in stable condition, but the 3rd officer, Andrew Duarte of the West York Borough Police Department, was fatally struck and killed.
I want to greatly thank our partners that I mentioned in law enforcement and with UPMC. They showed great bravery, great heroism. They are the reason why we are safe and why we can function. And as York Countyans, they are the backbone and lifeblood of our county.
Barker said the incident is believed to have been specifically targeted at the hospital's ICU. According to Barker, Archangel Ortiz had contacted the ICU earlier in the week for a medical purpose regarding another individual. Governor Josh Shapiro met with hospital workers, the Duarte family, and the victims on Saturday and said he was praying for the community.
Tonight, we pray for this community, and especially for the Duarte family. A life cut short, but a life of service and meaning and purpose. And I offer my blessings and that of my wife, Lori, our First Lady, our family, and the entire Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. We pray for strength for this community. We pray for healing for this community. And we pray for the family of Officer Duarte.
The investigation into the incident remains ongoing. Stay tuned on WYLN for more updates.
Parents and coaches from the West Hazleton Youth Basketball League attended a Hazleton area school board meeting on Thursday to argue for the return of spectators during the league's basketball games. Spectators at the games were banned by the district following 2 incidents of rowdy behavior during the past 2 seasons. During one of the incidents, officials report that a security guard was injured. On a different occasion, officials report that the game had to be stopped due to a nose-to-nose exchange that required police to arrive at the scene. Superintendent Brian Uplinger said the decision to ban spectators was ultimately made due to safety concerns.
There were a few incidents over the last couple years that, unfortunately, the district had decided to eliminate and remove parents from all of the games, just to make sure that the students are safe. We didn't want to hurt the children in any way. But by doing so, that provided the students to be able to continue to play until the end of the season, which is roughly the end of March.
However, Uplinger said the ban will likely not be permanent.
We'll reevaluate what the decision was for this year and then look at it again for next year. Parents most likely will be able to come back and be with their children in the gym where they do belong, and they need to be there to root them on and to see them grow and to succeed in the basketball league. So it was a very difficult decision to make. we didn't make it lightly, but again, we'll revisit that next year.
The next Hazleton Area School Board meeting will be held on Thursday, March 27th at 5:00 p.m. Several Penn State campuses may soon close. According to a statement from Penn State President Neely Bendapudi on Tuesday, the university is considering closing 12 of its 19 satellite campuses. Among the campuses being considered for potential closure are Penn State Hazleton, Penn State Schuylkill, and Penn State Wilkes-Barre. In her statement, Bendapudi said the potential closures are being considered due to declining enrollments, demographic shifts, and financial pressures. A final decision regarding the closures is expected to be made before spring commencement, which begins on May 9th. In the case of any of the closures going into effect, university officials say all students who begin a Penn State degree will have the opportunity to complete the degree either online or at another campus. University officials also state that none of the campuses will close before the end of the 2026 to 2027 academic year. In the statement, Bendapudi also said the university will explore opportunities for reassignment within Penn State and provide career transition support for affected faculty and staff members as possible. A new sandwich chain has come to Hazleton. A ribbon-cutting ceremony was held on Wednesday morning for a new location of the New Jersey-based sandwich chain Jersey Mike's Subs. The new location is located at 113 Woodbine Street in Hazleton, across the street from the Penn State Hazleton campus. Owner Garrett Curran said the grand opening has been a long time coming, but that the company was drawn to Hazleton because of the area's community.
So we've been eager to come to the area. There's just such great people. We're partnered with the Hazleton High School, so we've been eager to come here, and it all comes down to community. We stand behind our product. We've got an awesome team that's going to help serve it, but we want to be in the communities where great things are happening. I think with Hazleton Area High School, we're doing a partner on the fundraiser. It's the things like that that make a difference in selecting an area. It's less about just looking on a map and dropping a pin. It's about the people in the community that draw us to it.
Jersey Mike's is known for their wide variety of hot and cold subs. If you don't know where to start, Curran had 2 recommendations.
I would say our number 13, the Italian, and then if you're in the mood for something hot on the grill, I'd say the number 43, the Chipotle cheesesteak's my favorite. So whether you want hot or cold, go with one of those 2 and you can't go wrong.
No matter what you order, Curran said it's worth giving Jersey Mike's a try.
I might be biased because sandwich is just a staple of my diet, but when it comes to lunchtime and dinner, you just can't beat a sandwich for me. And you know, whether you're in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or California, it's hard to beat a Jersey Mike's sub. So if you like sandwiches and subs, you can't go wrong coming here and giving it a try.
Jersey Mike's is open 7 days a week from 10 o'clock a.m. to 9 o'clock p.m.
Coming up on WYLN News, Chris Fomer takes us down the path through history with Jim Thorpe, Part 4. Plus, we check in with State Representative Dane Watrow on Watrow's weekly update. But first, we'll take a look at our 5-day forecast brought to you by the WYLN Weather Kids. We'll be right back.
Brought to you by Lehigh Valley Health Network and Jefferson Health, investing in your well-being and building healthier communities, because more expertise and convenient care means better outcomes and a healthier you. Learn more at lvhn.org/Jefferson.
My name is Addie, and my welcome be cloudy.
Weather Kids is brought to you by Lehigh Valley Hospital, Hazleton. Your health deserves a partner.
We want your child to be our WYLN Weather Kid. Your child can be our feature weather reporter of the day on WYLN News and WYLN social media posts, just by using your smartphone or any video recording device. It's easy. All ages are welcome, from toddlers to teens. To find out how, go to the weather section of WYLNTV.com or look for our post about it on the WYLN News Facebook page. Submit your Weather Kid video today. If you're looking for an affordable pre-owned car or truck, Cheers Auto Sales has a great lineup of clean, dependable, and quality vehicles. Stop in at 610 North Broad Street in West Hazleton, 570-454-7229. Cheers is proud to be celebrating 70 years in business. Third Base Luncheonette, still making memories after all these years. Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update, posted daily between noon and 2 p.m., powered by Lehigh Valley Health Network. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner. Come shoot at Whitetail Preserve 118 Boulevard Road in Bloomsburg. Their skeet, trap, and sporting clay fields are professionally designed, and all stations are handicapped accessible. Whitetail Preserve has resident shooting instructors certified by the NRA in shotgun, rifle, pistol, home safety, and personal protection in the home. Whitetail can also cater any size event, whether it be a private party, corporate event, or wedding. Call 570-384-2314 or 570-790-8969. Hey, did you know WYLN posts news stories and other bonus content on social media all week long? The Weather Kids, Fresh from the Farm, Everyday Heroes, Let's Talk Sports, Feel Good Friday, daily news stories, and more. Visit WYLNTV.com, Facebook, and YouTube to check it out. WYLN, the local leader on social media. We're your local network.
"1911 saw the birth and mock junk of Edward Pfister. Awarded the Westinghouse Science Award upon his graduation from Villanova in 1937, he would go to work in Altoona on an electrification project for the GG-1, the world's fastest locomotive. In 1940, he would sign up for the Army Signal Corps and would be a major contributor to the development of radar. The timing for the system's introduction could not have been more prescient, as it was the use of radar to detect incoming German planes that helped the British win the Battle of Britain. Pfister, who would also help develop rocket and bomb proximity fuses, will receive a commendation for meritorious civilian service by the Defense Department for his efforts. He died in 2003 and is buried in New Jersey. Mock junk's good times, however, could not last forever. While the Lehigh Canal managed to survive into the 20th century despite the rise of railroads, by the 1920s it was no longer viable for coal shipments. Transportation between the borough and Lorry Station in Lehigh County ceased in 1922, a decade before the entire canal shut down. Trolley service ended in 1925, and the Switchback Railroad had its last run 7 years later. Soon the once vibrant downtown faced a sharp downturn. Something was needed to turn its image around. And it came from an unlikely source. Jim Thorpe had been one of the greatest athletes of the early 20th century, best known for his exploits in the 1912 Stockholm Olympics and in the early days of the NFL. Memorably, Thorpe was told by Swedish King Gustav V, "You, sir, are the greatest athlete in the world," when the monarch gave him his Olympic medals, to which Thorpe modestly replied, "Thanks, King." Upon Thorpe's death in 1953, his widow Patricia was thwarted in her attempt to have a memorial built for him in his native Oklahoma. Word then reached her that the struggling mock chunk was looking for a way to attract tourists back to the area. Patricia struck a deal with the town's fathers to bury her husband there, even though Thorpe had never actually set foot in Mock Chunk in his lifetime, in exchange for them renaming the town in his honor. And so, in 1954, Mock Chunk and East Mock Chunk merged under the new name Jim Thorpe. 3 years later, Jim Thorpe's body was formally buried in an elaborate mausoleum high above the town Route 903. Despite numerous court cases over the years that have attempted to return him to Oklahoma, Thorpe remains buried in the town now bearing his name today. He looks down over a town that has seen a rebirth into a major tourist destination, one that has lived up to its name, the gateway to the Poconos, and once more thrives as it did before. The late 20th century would also see Jim Thorpe overcome a persistent flooding issue that had plagued it for decades. Flood waters inundated the borough in 1831, 1841, 1861, 1862, 1901, 1902, 1933, and 1969, just to name a few of the bigger floods. And so in 1972, the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers would build a 50-foot-high earthen dam across Mock Chunk Creek high above Jim Thorpe, creating the 320-acre Mock Chunk Lake. The dam passed its first test almost immediately, holding when Hurricane Agnes struck Pennsylvania that year. Today, the lake is a popular local state park, bringing additional delight to Jim Thorpe area residents.
Welcome back to Feel Good Friday. I'm joined by Dr. John. Dr. John, how's it going?
Thank you, Ryan. I'm a joy. I'm happy to do these shows to maybe share a little bit of light in people's lives.
Yeah, we're going to talk a little bit more about light because we're talking about those artificial lamps.
Yep. You know, I'm here 45 years, Ryan. When I first heard about these lamps, I remember being a little bit questionable about them, but I have many patients. I'm blessed. I don't get any what they call seasonal depression. I can work a 12-hour day, never stop for lunch breaks or even no bathroom breaks usually. But a patient who says to me, I got this lamp, I close my eyes in 20-30 minutes a day, it gives me more vitamin D, I have less seasonal depression. So I've looked into it, there's multiple lamps out there. So some people need it on their whole body. So I'm not against you taking vitamin D, because you don't get as much sunshine, but there's nothing wrong with buying a $50 lamp. I tell people to put it on them while they're reading a book or watching TV. But I think, Ryan, it actually gives them time also just to meditate, slow down their busy lives, and I think they're very helpful for people, especially with our long winters.
Yep, definitely long winters around here, but I'd like to thank Dr. John for coming on this Feel Good Friday, and we'll see you next time.
Hey, it's Justin from Grand Central, and our trained sleep professionals are here to help you sleep like never before. With an extensive line of Sealy and Stearns & Foster mattresses, we are sure to find you the right mattress at the right price. Free delivery and removal, interest-free financing for up to 60 months, and same or next day delivery on select models.
And don't forget, everyday low prices. Stop in to one of our 2 locations, Route 93 in Nescopec,
or downtown Hazleton,
and see why Northeast and Central Pennsylvania sleeps better with Grand Central.
Are you looking for a trustworthy publishing company to publish your book? One that understands the process and upholds Christian values in its business practices?
Introducing Covenant Books, an author-friendly publisher who shares your beliefs and wants to publish your story. Call us today to get a free author packet to help get you started.
We realize your book is unique, personal, and written with a higher purpose. That's the content we're looking for.
We provide authors freedom and flexibility throughout the publishing process with professional book editing, award-winning design, and some of the highest royalty structures in the industry.
Covenant distributes and sells your book online and in bookstores everywhere. We convert your book in ebook format and sell it on Amazon, Apple iTunes, and to these distributors. Our authors love us.
So if you've written a biography, a devotional, a memoir, self-help, or any genre, we can help. Be like these authors and get your book published and sold today.
Call right now for your free writer's guide.
1-800-215-3680.
For many years, Dr. John Degenhardt has been a beacon of hope and healing in the Hazleton community. As the founder of Degenhardt Chiropractic Health Center, he has dedicated his life to improving the well-being of countless individuals through chiropractic care. In this special episode of Let's Talk Chiropractic, we will revisit the inspiring stories of several of Dr. John's patients whose lives have been transformed under his care.
Welcome back to Watro's Weekly Update. I'm joined here as always with State Representative Dane Watcher. Dane, how's it going today?
Very good, thank you. It seems like the weather is getting a slight bit warmer, so I'm doing very good. How about you?
Absolutely, yeah. I always appreciate when the weather gets warmer around this time of year, so it's definitely very welcomed.
Me too.
I know we're here to talk about today of several grants that you got approved with Senator Dave Argel for several projects within our area here in Hazel Township and also in East Union Township as well. If you could tell us more about those projects.
Yeah, the first one was $800,000 for the Hazleton School District. They've been trying to seek a grant for the last couple of years, and they finally, we got it, the senator and I got it to the finish line for them. And what that's going to be, it's going to be an access road in the rear of the school with the potential thoughts of hopefully going ahead and Hazleton's expanding and they're going to have to build a school. And then Rob Miracle, who's been instrumental in helping them design, and the donations that that man gives is just absolutely phenomenal. And Dave and I were able to deliver and help them out with an $800,000 grant for that road in the back. The overall project for that road is a couple million, but this is a good starting point. And the next phase of grants, hopefully we could work with the Secretary of Transportation to go ahead and see if we could convince him to go ahead and give the rest of that. And what that does, that alleviates the taxpayers from paying that. And they identify, the school districts identifies that we can't keep on putting the weight of and the burden on our local residents. So that's why they're out there aggressively seeking these grants. So good for them out there doing it, as well as our other local governmental communities. East Union was another one. We're talking about roads. They were able to go ahead and apply for a grant. They came up with a $100,000 grant that Dave and I also announced recently as of this week, I think it was. Yeah, early this week we announced that. So very happy with those our two communities bringing in together close to $1 million. So I'm very happy to report that. Thank you for bringing that up today.
Absolutely, yeah, very great to see a lot of these projects like starting to hit the ground, even if it's very, very early in its stages. Just like great to see that going. I know today you also want to talk with us about an upcoming firefighter recruitment event that you will be having, also with Senator Argel. I know volunteer firefighters are something that's very important. A lot of these organizations are looking to get more people to be involved and help out. So tell us more about this event.
Yeah, first responders are very important to all of us, and we see a need that it's not like it used to be. You had so many young boys and girls wanting to get involved with the community service aspect of it and being a first responder. Those days are gone, and it's they're struggling just to get volunteers. There is a school out in Danville that they have a club, and this club is to encourage our children to get involved, see what it's about, and on the path to earn their Firefighter 1 certification. And it's super important. We need our first responders, our firefighters, our EMTs in our communities, because when we call 911, if we don't have those services, our house is burning down, or our somebody that's in need of medical treatment is not going to get it. So we're trying to do whatever we can do to promote, especially the young generation, get involved, give back to your community. When you do that, you get a sense of pride, you get a sense of leadership. So I think this is very important. Next week, we're going to have our first seminar with the good guy, the good firefighter from the Danville area who started this and helps out with this club in the Danville School District. So very interested to see what he has to say, and hopefully we get things moving along here in our district.
Absolutely. Yep. As you said, it's a very important thing to get people involved with activities and organizations like that, and firefighting and other emergency services, as you said, are just very important. So it's good to have events like that to hopefully get the word out and get more people involved.
Yes, very true. So thanks again for bringing that up. Thank you.
Absolutely. Yeah. And I know the one other thing we want to talk about today was regarding the Penn State campuses, specifically the one here in Hazleton, and how there have been talks to close down a lot of these campuses. I know it's been a big concern for you and many other people within the region. So if you want to share your thoughts about that.
So I'm very disappointed, and I know I'm a guy that will always try to find a way to make things better, and that's what I'm trying to do right now. There's so much community involvement with the Hazleton Penn State campus. You got the Slussers, you got the Pascal Shivo Foundation that gave so much money, so much hard-earned money there, and to see, and so many other families too, just not those two, but you know, you give, and I understand that they're not the ones keeping it afloat, but they gave their hard-earned money to this institution, to Penn State. So this does not, this isn't something that's going to pass right by. We're going to fight and fight hard. The second most important piece, other than the families, our local community that bought into this program with Penn State there in the Hazleton campus, is that the state for the past several years gives over $350 million to PSU. So I'm going to fight like all heck, because this year budget will be in there again with a slight increase. When you're talking $350 million, that's a lot of taxpayers' money. And I'm not expecting Hazleton to take a loss, or our Schuylkill County campus to take a loss with that type of funds going to Penn State. So that is something that is a work in progress. On the good side of things with this whole announcement that came out this week is that the communication my office has with main campus, the government relations director, is phenomenal. He keeps us informed. I was on a conference call with him as of yesterday, and he was answering my questions, heard me out. I told him, take that to the top person. These are our concerns, our dilemmas that we're having here, and we just won't accept it, and we'll fight right to the end. With that being said, so many people are going to suffer. So many people, faculty, staff, and mainly our students. And this is something that we will fight like all heck to make sure that they remain open.
Absolutely. Well, I wish the best of luck to you and the rest of the advocates for these campuses, and hopefully we can find a way to have a good solution for them, and hopefully they can remain open. That's what we really hope for.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. And as always, I want to thank State Representative Dane Watcher for joining us here on Watcher's Weekly Update, and we'll see you next time.
Express Care. Walk in and you walk into the region's most trusted health network.
SJ Kowalski is your Mitsubishi Diamond contractor. They can install a Mitsubishi electric Mr. Slim ductless heating and cooling system. Mr. Slim systems are designed to make any living space in your home inviting. You can have a different temperature control for every room in your home. The money-saving technology can save you 25 to 50% on your heating bill. For Mitsubishi, Rinnai, and trained comfort specialists, call SJ Kowalski at 570-455-2600.
PPW Nation, get ready for the best of PPW Season 2. Join Paul Bowe, E. Julius Kuiper, Alexander Bravado, Tom Mitchell, and Alex Watt as we take you down memory lane and relive some of the best PPW matches of all time. Saturdays at 5 p.m., Sundays at 10 p.m., only on WYLN.
Like and follow WYLN News on Facebook for the WYLN News Midday Update. When it's serious, there's only one health network with seriously innovative health institutes. Lehigh Valley Health Network, your health deserves a partner.